Bro, did you really grab my floor joint? What the fuck? What the fuck is the floor joint?
Where the fuck is the floor joint?
What the fuck?
That was the greatest opening ever! We gotta help him look for it.
We're starting this show. Okay, guys, we're starting the show with my floor joints missing.
Will Charles.
Enough of this guy. Please shit.
This is huge. This is huge right now. It's gotta find.
I don't know who wants it. Right here.
Charles, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can't solve like politics without this story.
Why are we listening to this?
Charles needs motivational music right now. This is a fucking huge thing. Right?
I hear. Whoa.
Come on, bro. You can find it.
Like over half the joint.
Got it?
I can hear epic music. I don't think I'm gonna have to roll a new joint, boys.
Wait, we're not finding the joint? We're giving up on it?
Oh shit.
Come on, we got it.
Oh shit, we're in the vortex.
Oh, I just realized my background isn't on. There we go.
Alright, Cody, you need to
Joe Henry has like an aura. I hear woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to fix your fucking feedback, bro. We can't.
And monkey. Does anyone else have a? Is anyone else hearing monkey at like 1 decibel?
Nah. Hold on. That might actually be possible.
His mic was he was a little low, yes.
Okay. I'm good now, right?
Yes.
Oh man.
Alright.
Like I believe, like Cody. Cody's
I'm
loudest.
just black, man. I'm just black.
Only on Tuesdays, Cody.
Okay then.
Alright. Listen. The Panthers are up 3-0. There's your sports update for the evening. Let's get to work. First off, how's everybody doing today other than the floor joint? R.I.P. floor joint.
Hold on. What does that mean? Only on Tuesdays?
We're moving on, Cody. How are you doing today?
Rest in peace.
I'm feeling like shit.
That's great. How about you, Charles? Well, you're going through a crisis. Slender, are you normal? Is somebody normal in this podcast?
You would have to define normal. I'm not a person. Remember, I'm just a entity of horror.
Whatever normal is for you.
Entities have feelings, or at least they did
Yeah.
before they died, and then took it to the afterlife with an entity of hate.
Yeah, what she said.
Um,
In words that I wouldn't have come up with.
Right there.
Charles's joint left with the entity.
about as normal as can be, I guess.
Slender stole
Slender
it.
stole it! Son
In
of
the
a
night.
bitch!
Look, this
In
meme
the
applies
middle
for
of the
this
night,
moment.
too.
Oh, the meme
I thought
passed.
it sounded weird in here last night.
Slender stole the fucking joint.
This meme also applies for this moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna find
He's
that
gonna
thing
knock
like
it out.
4 days
He's
from now.
gonna bring it in his mouth. And he's like,
Yeah, I'll get back to you when I find my pants. Hold on.
okay.
I love this podcast. I love how
He
this
honestly
starts.
didn't even have to tell us. He
We're,
could
we're,
have just
10,
had
we're
their
10
pants
minutes in. 10 minutes in, and no.
One of them's lost their pants. One's an unknown entity of unknown feelings, and the joint is gone. Monkey is doing fine, it seems. He's good this round. TV's working. Internet's good.
Someone has to be okay here, okay?
Oh my God! There it is.
Holy shit! Yes!
Feel your floor joint, motherfucker.
Yeah!
Wow.
I hate us. Why are we like this?
This entity could be an LLC.
It's a THC, that's for sure.
Oh, real quick. Speaking of THC, they're talking
Did you
about
know-
banning THC in Texas.
Hell no, we're not. Come on, Texas.
No. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Why?
Nah, they trying to ban fucking pot in Texas?
I would probably go as far to say that it's
It's with
most likely
politics,
because
we
of
have not
the
done it.
alcohol industry.
I guess Texas banning weed is
Well, fuck the alcohol industry and all that shit.
Oh my god, he's fucking right. Jesus, dude. Texas, I'm sorry. Holy fuck. He's right.
The Texas House gave initial approval to a bill that would ban THC products.
And lawmakers took up Senate Bill 3, aiming to ban synthetic cannabis and products with higher doses of hemp-based THC. That's a compound in the plant that gives users a high feeling.
Yeah,
Well,
fucking
supporters say
sounds
they're
like
targeting
Bible, Jesus.
products designed for recreational use like Delta 8 vapes. Several lawmakers pushed for regulations, not a ban, raising some concerns about the effect of a ban on veterans and others who use over-the-counter THC products to treat medical conditions. Supporters say those needs should be handled by prescriptions through the Texas Compassionate Use Program, also known as TCUP.
I want people to have access to medications that help them when they have medical conditions where those medications can be of benefit. But this is what we're doing here is correcting a problem that was created in 2019 where we essentially created a pathway whereby people could sell drugs in corner stores across our state. In the midst of tonight's debate, Lieutenant Governor Dan
Jesus.
Patrick posted on social media
Not
that he
the
supports
D8.
expanding the TCUP program. He vowed to, quote, expand licenses and have satellite locations for the first time for prescribed products from doctors for our veterans and those in need.
Oh my god. Texas, I'm sorry. They're gonna take Delta 8 away from you. That's fucked.
I have no problem with that. That's shit weed.
Listen, dude, they
Take it away.
already have it bad. You gotta at least give them something. Fuck.
Nope. Delta 8's for losers.
Listen, dude. I get.
I
the
only
Delta
smoke
8s
that
for
au
fucking
natural.
losers. I get the Delta 8s for fucking losers, bro. But
You either get full medical or get the fuck out of here.
in that state, they don't. Do they offer medical in Texas?
Yeah, exactly. Delta 8 garbage.
Listen,
But they're not. They're not. Some of them, like the talks, aren't about just Delta 8. It's about all THC products.
Well, but Texas does have medical marijuana
Yes.
with
Yeah, it does.
significant
It does.
restrictions.
Yes, it's
It does.
it's talking about recreational products. So they want to ban recreational THC products. Or
They
at
don't
least
want you
some people do.
smoking in Texas, bro. They don't want you smoking in Texas no more, bro.
Yep.
And that's sad.
What the fuck? Their medical weed is literally defined as cannabis containing no more than 1% THC. What the fuck? That's
Oh
not even
my
Yep,
God.
their medical is really bad.
1%. No, it's that.
That's less than
This-
Delta 8. Delta 8's at least 3%.
It's crazy, bro. I just got this from Jungle Boys and it had like 24 point like.
Hey, 4-0! Sorry.
Spoilers! Oh, I just saw it. Goal!
All right.
Imagine getting your fucking. Oh, look at that lady. Look at that lady so sad. They're all so sad. Your team should be good.
Oh,
You
we
should
got
try
some
that.
Vibe Crafter and Minecraft or Mineraft. Interesting. Okay, Mineraft seems like a bot or something. Vibe Crafter, hello.
Don't worry.
Oh right, Vibe
Toronto.
Crafter, I remember you.
The
How are
Kings
you
making
doing?
You guys look good.
So, Now that we've gotten our weed stuff out, have you lit your shit yet? Hold on, Charles, man. Cheers.
Wes, have you lit your shit?
shit
That's
is lit.
right. Everybody should take a moment to go ahead and hit their shit.
Smoke one for Texas, because they can't.
And Jim Mercer.
We're going to hit an extra one for you guys down in fucking Austin. Dallas Stars! Dallas Stars!
It's a thing, man.
I'd rather play Dallas because I know the Oilers are on a bench. They
What?
want to kill us.
I'm not scared
It's
of
just
nobody.
not fair. It's just not fair. Like, why? Why?
Hey, do
What?
we have any topics for tonight? Are we going to cover anything? Are we going to
listen,
cover Trump's Middle East trip and all
Yeah,
the
we got-
crazy shit that happened there?
Nah,
Oh
listen.
yeah, I have yet to catch
We're
up
gonna
on that,
ease-
so I need to.
Oh
We're
my god, that
ease
shit
it
was a
in.
simulation.
We're going to ease in.
We do want to take you out to the nation's capital, giving you a live look at the U.S. Capitol here at 5:57 on the East Coast. We are keeping a close eye inside of the chambers. As this Thursday morning, legislators, they are debating and discussing President Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. Our victims were
BBB.
leaving an event
We'll get to
held
that
by
in a
the
second.
American Jewish Committee. We do have the latest
Hey,
photos of those
hey,
victims.
watch your mouth.
Metropolitan Police Department officials identifying the suspect as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago. Fox News' Gary Baumgarten joining us now to report on the latest.
Tolerate anti-Semitism.
Good audio.
Law enforcement in Washington, D.C. say 2 staff
Good
members
audio.
of the Israeli embassy are dead after being shot while leaving an event Wednesday night at the Capitol Jewish Museum.
No.
The suspect was observed pacing back and forth outside of the museum. He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire.
We heard between 10 to 15 gunshots, roughly.
Tragically, the male and female victims were a couple preparing to be engaged.
The young man purchased a ring this week with the intention of
fucked up.
proposing to his girlfriend.
After the attack, witnesses in the museum saw a man run in before tensions flared.
The security guard happened to let this guy in. I guess they were thinking that he was a victim. He was in shock. And, some of the people at the event brought him water.
Yeah, I handed him water. I've never interacted with a murderer before.
He's like, somebody called the cops, bring the cops in. When the cops actually came in, he said, I did this. He said, sir, I'm unarmed. He put his hands up. He grabbed a red kufi out of his pocket and started the Free Palestine chants.
Once in handcuffs,
Okay, so Hassan Piker fucking subscriber, I get it.
police
Oh,
said the suspect
yeah,
where he
so-
saw the gun, and they were able to recover it.
There is no active threat in our community.
In a post to Truth Social, President Donald Trump wrote in part, quote, hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. This deadly shooting comes in the wake of increasing Israeli military operations across the Gaza Strip as IDF forces try to eliminate Hamas militants and free remaining hostages. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
All right, Gary, thank you so much for that detailed report. Again, taking you back out to the nation's capital outside of that Israeli embassy. Just tragic news where 2 staff members of the Israeli embassy were killed. We do want to continue to follow the very latest developments. Now checking in with our content partners over at Fox 35 Orlando as they speak with Fox News correspondent Doug Luzader.
Has left 2 Israeli embassy workers dead and
Whoa.
immediate fear.
Jesus
are investigating
Christ.
a deadly shooting outside of the Capitol
Jesus
Jewish Museum in
fucking Christ,
Washington.
mate.
2 people are
What
dead
the
and the suspect
hell?
is in custody following the
What the
attack.
fuck
The
is that?
victims both worked at the Israeli embassy in Washington. They have been identified as Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram. The 2 were set to become engaged and had just walked out of an event at the museum when the shots rang out. Witnesses say the suspected gunman was pacing outside of the museum before opening fire. Law enforcement officials described the attack as targeted. He was arrested at the scene shortly after he fired.
100%. 100% Hamas subscriber. Or Hamas Piker subscriber.
Hassan,
That's
yeah.
still correct.
The 100% Hamas Piker subscriber. This guy right here. For sure.
Listen.
That's for sure. Look at him. He's like, just shut the
This
fuck
is the
up.
moment police made the arrest. As you can hear, the suspect appears to be chanting Free Palestine while being taken into custody. Our Gail King spoke with a witness who said she
Shit.
consoled the suspected gunman who was rain-soaked and taken into custody.
Watch this
Our
guy
Gail
over
King
here.
spoke with a witness who
He's gonna
said she
try to hand him a
consoled
shit.
the
He's like,
suspected
"Give me that
gunman
shit.
who was
Throw this
rain-soaked
shit in
and
the
seemingly
garbage."
distraught as he pretended to be a witness in the moments after the attack.
He reaches into his bag and he pulls out a keffiyeh and he says, I did it for Gaza. And just starts shouting Free Palestine, and that's when the police come in and arrest him.
The suspect could appear in court to face formal charges as soon as today. Here's Attorney General Pam Bondi reacting to the fatal shooting this morning.
Everyone is working together as a team. FBI, ATF, our U.S. Marshals are out here trying to protect everyone. but our Jewish community must feel safe. What we saw last night was disgusting. I saw a young man's body being taken away who was about to get engaged. He had an entire life in front of him, and that was taken away. The hate has got to stop, and it has to stop now. And this person will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
For more, let's bring in Schechter. She's a senior coordinating producer for CBS News.
Hey. More Hamas Pike. You see, this is why we need to just get him off of Twitch.
So this is what this is actually tying into. If you saw in the chat what Charles shared earlier, just a little bit ago, that what Grums was shared on X about this situation. If they find out that he is subscribed to Hassan Piker, this is going to be bad for Twitch as a whole, because they have turned a blind eye to all this rhetoric being spread.
And dude, I'm honestly, like, at first it was a meme. I'm actually starting to blame it. Like, I'm actually taking, like, I actually take it, like, I blame Twitch for this.
Well, yeah, these fucking woke ass retards, they block people that don't need to be blocked, and then let this fucking guy talk all this fucking hateful shit, but because they agree with it, ideologically, they say, "No, it's okay. We'll give you maybe a 1-day ban sometimes, or one time even, not even sometimes, one time."
Yeah, and they banned the fucking people that would like I counter these people. Like Steven Crowder is banned on Twitch. Vosh banned on Twitch. Destiny's banned on Twitch. What's that other right wing guy? Myron is banned on Twitch. Like all the guys that would fight this narrative, they're gone. Twitch is very literally terrorist poll. It's not even Twitch poll, no, it's terrorist poll.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I blame it for this. Specifically Twitch I blame for shit like this, because that look at the fucking age of this guy. Like, hold on. Let's get back here. Hold on. I bring the fucking shit back up so we can see.
Pam Bondi reacting.
Yeah, fuck Pam Bondi real quick, alright? Look at how young that dude looks, dude. That's literally fucking. That's a Twitch guy. That guy for sure has Twitch. If they search his phone, they're gonna find Twitch in it. So wait, what did Charles link? I want to see that.
He linked a tweet from Grums, Mark Kern.
Jeez, how long ago?
No, it's just a little bit, just recent. It's just like a couple things up in the chat.
All I see is our fucking weirdo friend. Was it before our stream link?
It was probably in between all those opinion.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Share this tab instead. Alright, cool. Y'all got that brought up? It might just be the end game for Twitch and Hassan Piker. Right now, authorities are combing through the assassin's electronics to see how he was radicalized. If it turns out he was a Hassan fan, it might be over. Or it's over. Last night's act of terrorism with the assassination of 2 DC... Hold on a minute. You're fucking radiating horrors distracting me there. Last night's act of terrorism with the assassination of 2 DC Israeli embassy diplomat staff is the normie event that will end Twitch. Asmongold has long warned about this, explaining that the extreme political rhetoric on Twitch and Twitch is turning a blind eye to the calls of political violence on the site could reach a boiling point if it crosses over into real events. Oh, here we are. Interesting. And what do you call it? I also heard that like as this is all going on, Twitch's revenue is like the lowest it's been in fucking forever.
Yep.
So they're getting hit, which means not only is Asmongold getting vindicated right now, Dan Stoltman is getting vindicated right now because he said that this shit was gonna happen. Like he was telling everybody about an ad apocalypse for a while now, and here we are. So shit like that guy, I 100% believe that guy's a Hassan fan. I will be fucking shocked if he doesn't have Twitch in his phone. Like shocked,
right.
Dude.
Yeah, the whole screaming free Palestine obnoxiously. You know this guy got all that shit. Yeah. Definitely read it. Like a million% read it. He subscribed to all these fucking stupid ass subreddits where you can like threaten to kill people, but as long as people Reddit agrees with, that's the one I want to see go down the most. Reddit is a I don't even want to call it a shithole, but it is worse than a shithole. I can't even think of something to describe it.
It's a cesspool. It's a fucking cesspool. Reddit is the worst. I mean, it is deranged. It is unhinged. It is funny. It is the worst. It's like second to worst. 4chan. 4chan's up there. Twitch needs to redo their entire like TOS system. The guy that's running Twitch right now, that dude fucking Dan or whoever the fuck, he's got to go.
Yeah,
like,
Dan Clancy.
Dan Clancy, he's got to go. Because this shit's it's been going on.
Have you
for a
ever
couple
seen
years
who
now,
Dan
bro.
Clancy like mostly watches on Twitch?
Yeah, Hassan.
No,
He
no,
gave him
no,
a
no.
happy birthday.
Beyond Hassan.
Oh, who?
Oh, it's pretty much just like all the
All the terrorist guys?
no. The basically the ones that that they're also doing streaming isn't their main thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, listen. That's got to go, and honest to God truth, either one or two things needs to happen. Either you bring back the Steven Crowders and the Destinies, or you fucking get rid of the Hassans and the Frogans and Denims and all those fucking weirdo terrorist guys. Like that one of the
Right.
two's got to happen.
It's kind of the same type of argument I tell people with the whole when they try to call the whole thing happening genocide. I say you got to keep the same energy for both sides. Either they're both in the wrong or they're both in the right.
Yep. I honestly think that they just I would like to see a Twitch where Destiny's back and Steven Crowder's back. And like
I just want to see Destiny go back to playing StarCraft. He's not good at the
Yeah.
politics.
No, I don't give a shit about if he does politics. I want to see Destiny go out of sign. That is the only like.
I would like to watch that. That would be funny.
That is my only like I pray this happens one day type shit. Like I want to see Destiny tear Hassan's asshole apart because I know he'd do it.
Literally?
Yes, actually, I think physically and rhetorically, yeah. He's into that kind of shit. And Steven Crowder coming back too, just so that they've got the they've got that what do you call it? That right wing, slightly racist, kind of racist. All right, racist.
It's only racist if you take it as racist.
We're gonna take it as racist. But at least they've got that aspect to it too. I mean, if we're gonna fucking fit all, if we're supporting terrorism, I feel like everything's fair game now. Like, I'm surprised that it's not. That's why, like, I don't get how they all got banned. Like, but they've got motherfuckers like Hassan playing terrorist videos.
Yep.
Whatever, dude. That guy's unhinged. I'm praying this kid is a Hassan fan. Like, so I can see Twitch fucking blow up. And then maybe we could get back to some sort of fucking normalcy over there. It used to be a fun place, man.
So the thing that concerns me a bit is it may end up being the complete downfall of Twitch, which that would be kind of sad, because the fact, you got to remember, the platform itself is actually probably one of the best when it comes to tools and utilization for streaming. But how they run it is just awful.
tell you what though, Kick and Rumble would be fucking ecstatic.
Oh, of course they would. And honestly, Kick and Rumble are, improving by the day. They're just not up to the level yet.
I think Kick's the closest, and I think it's.
Yeah, Kick is definitely the closest.
I think Kick just needs the extra boost in consumer base.
Is Kick a publicly traded company?
I don't know. I don't think so. Hold on.
I'm about to go all in, boys.
Is Kick.com publicly traded? No. It is not. Privately held company. And Rumble's not too far off either. I mean, it's a different taste. It does not feel like
Rumble's closer to YouTube right now.
Yeah. I don't mind these platforms. I like these platforms. I am streaming on these platforms. Hi.
Yep. I stream on all of them. I just also stream on, the other platforms just because.
But in the interest of shit talking to your face instead of behind your back, I am also streaming on Twitch. And Twitch, fuck you guys. All right?
Yes, exactly. Fuck you, Twitch.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This shit's. It's not good for their narrative either, bro. They want to have they want sympathy. Like they want people to fucking believe in their bullshit, and they want it to be taken seriously, and then they go and do shit that always sets them back. This is like the October 7th thing, but smaller. The October 7th argument, but smaller. You just keep doing dumb shit that sets you back. But whatever. Hey, who wants to see her debut? We finally get to see Judge Jean Pirro in her new job.
Different members, including Jean Pirro. Let's listen in here on Live Now from Fox.
All right, here we go. I'm Janine Pirro.
What is with the mics?
The United States
Get
Attorney.
It together.
Welcome. Our community today is reeling as a result of one person's actions. Two families now are left to grieve for dreams that will never be realized. And as I speak right now, there is an individual who is being presented in court and charged with various crimes. 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, Illinois, is now charged by complaint after his initial appearance before U.S. Magistrate Judge Matthew Sharbaugh with the following: murder in the first degree for the murder of 30-year-old Yaron Lashinsky, a foreign official and official guest of the United States. Mr. Lashinsky was here on official business for the State of Israel. The defendant Rodriguez is also charged with 2 counts of murder in the first degree for both Yaron Lashinsky along with 26-year-old Sarah Lynn Milgram of Kansas. In addition, there are several felony firearms charges for discharging a firearm in the middle of a violent crime and for causing the death of an individual through the use of that firearm. Now, this investigation is continuing, and as you can see, we have most of the stakeholders here today who will be given an opportunity to speak with you. But what I want to be clear about today, since this is the first time you're hearing from me, is that this is a horrific crime, and these crimes are not going to be tolerated by me and by this office. A young couple at the beginning of their life's journey, about to be engaged in another country, had their bodies removed in the cold of the night.
It's so fucking nuts that she was on Fox News last month.
Foreign city in a body bag. We are not going to tolerate that anymore. And I am not unaware, based upon my own background, of the repercussions of this kind of case. This is the kind of case that picks at old sores and old scars, because these kinds of cases remind us of what has happened in the past that we can never and must never forget. I want to mention one thing. The Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C., where this young couple had been at an event, was built around a brick building. That brick building was previously a synagogue called Adas Israel. It was one of Washington's first synagogues, a congregation that was created in 1869. And Ulysses S. Grant, our president, actually attended the dedication of that synagogue. And so to this day, that synagogue in that area remains a cornerstone of the Jewish community in D.C. Let me also say that violence against anyone based on their religion is an act of cowardice. It is not an act of a hero. It is the kind of case that we will vigorously pursue Anti-Semitism will not be tolerated, especially in the nation's capital. And we're going to continue to investigate this as a hate crime and a crime of terrorism. And we will add additional charges as the evidence warrants. So this charging today is the initial charge. Remember, we're less than 24 hours from the crime itself. And we are working furiously and diligently.
No
with
real
our partners behind
investigation
me.
is
We've
needed
got
for it to be known as a crime of terrorism. He literally chanted "Free, free Palestine." It's a political act.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was that kid right now sitting in jail, and you gotta have at least a minimal amount of political awareness to be killing people over Palestine, at least a minimal one. So you have to at least have seen Judge Jean Pirro on Fox News at some point in your fucking lifetime. And if I knew that that was the bitch that was going after me, I'd be pissing my fucking pants.
Oh yeah.
I'd be fucking like, I'm dead. I'm dead. Ah!
You got to remember, these people don't think before they act, though.
They're gonna make a fucking Fox News special out of me. Yeah, bro, this
massive amounts of evidence that we are vetting, we are verifying, and we are reviewing. This is the start and not the beginning. And finally, let me say this. President Donald Trump appointed me to this position. This is the nation's capital. We should all be proud of this capital. And the president wants D.C. safe. And I and the partners behind me are going to do everything we can to make people proud of this city, whether they're from this city, from the country, or from other parts of the world. Thank you. Now I'm going to...
All right.
And outrage
No,
over.
listen. Don't you run my show, all right? I run this show. All right, let's get to the... all right, Charles, I'm going to let you pick the next one. We're going to do, like, roulette. Do you want to do BBB, or do you want to see the governor of California cry?
I'll take the governor of California crying, please, for 400.
Oh, hell yeah, baby. All right, so we're going to give you why he's going to cry, and then I'll give you a little bit of him crying. We're not going to go through the whole fucking thing. It's long.
The newsroom, the Senate has voted to block California's plan to phase out the sale of new gas-powered cars by 2035. The vote was 51 to 44. The resolution repeals California's Advanced Clean Cars 2 waiver. That federal waiver was what allowed the state to ban the sale of gas-powered vehicles by 2035. Now the ban heads to President Trump's desk. He's expected to sign it, along with 2 other measures blocking California's rules that the Senate is expected to pass.
You know,
fuck California, bro. Fuck that place.
Someone really needs to just let them go off and become their own country at this point.
Republicans of California, get your fucking shit together and get every single one of you. You can outnumber them if they get like, I mean, you need like 100% turnout, which is like basically impossible. But like, California is that bad. You gotta get it together. Like, what the fuck? Fucking crazy. That in Colorado, what's happened to both places? They've gone fucking off the deep end.
Dude, he's been fucking...
This is not the commie states of America. Like, you can't be fucking banning gas cars. For a non-issue. For a fucking non-issue.
Questions, please allow me to hand it off to our great and courageous governor, Governor Gavin.
Courageous!
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. Thank you.
And this fucking slime ball bitch,
Madam Secretary,
all of a sudden trying to be a moderator.
Back here on a roof that is familiar, as is this subject matter. It was just a number of years ago that we were here announcing a similar lawsuit against the then Trump administration as it relates to the issue of California's well-established.
Look at the fucking bullshit retard slogan he got on his fucking. You notice it's never about like whatever his fucking name is, Galsum good. There's nothing about Democrats helping America. Like, no, it's just Trump bad. They're still gonna triple down on this bullshit.
Right.
All they got is Trump bad.
I do have to admit that is one thing that I have noticed, and it has gotten to me. Their rhetoric has always only been negative towards their opponent.
It's always wow, Republicans are evil and Trump's bad.
And whereas you can say Trump has definitely talks his shit, But what are his slogans? Make America great again and things like that.
Make
Like,
America healthy again. Make America safe again. Make America powerful again. Like, all these fucking, we're gonna be so fucking good as a society. But these people are like, yeah, everything's awful, and he's awful, and
you should hate this place.
live an awful life. This country
Right.
sucks. Right? Like, their message is this country sucks, and we're not interested in making it better. We just want to take over. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Clean Air Act to advance the cause of low carbon green growth. We prevailed in that effort a number of years ago. We were hopeful that we wouldn't be back, but we weren't.
There you go.
Bro, go outside and touch grass. What's fucking China smoggy? You want to talk about smoggy? Fucking China. America, pretty fucking clean. Shut the fuck up.
Weren't naive.
Who believes this shit?
The
Alex?
administration, Trump 2.0.
That's why Alex is not
was
on this
sworn
fucking
in. We
program. He
anticipated
believes
back
this
here,
shit.
Literally back here on this roof, announcing what happens to be the 23rd lawsuit against the Trump administration. We didn't expect the path, however, they would take in this instance. This notion of a CRA, which if you're paying attention, then you're confused. No one understands what a CRA is, and that's what this is also all about, is confusion. It's intended to be confusing. What is a GAO? What is a parliamentarian? What the Senate did has been referred to correctly as a nuclear option. They decided to change the rules that have been established in the United States Senate, protocols that have been well established for centuries in order to attack California, in order to pollute more. This isn't complicated. This is about pollution. This is about
Oh my God!
Because pollution's a substance.
Wait.
It's an act of theft.
Did he
our
just say
kids and grandkids.
centuries?
It's not complicated. What this act did was allows polluters to pollute.
Oh, hold on. Did he
Impacting
just
you,
say?
impacting all of us? This was
What was he saying? Was for centuries?
in order to attack California. In order
Protocols that have been.
Yeah, go back like 10 seconds.
They decided
What
to change the rules that have
protocols?
been established in the United States Senate, protocols that have been well established for centuries, in order to attack
centuries.
California, in order to pollute
We've
more.
only been
This
around
isn't
for
complicated.
2.
This is about pollution.
Right.
This is about the act of theft, because pollution's a subsidy. It's an act of theft
All
against
2
our kids and
centuries.
grandkids. It's not complicated. What this act did was allows polluters to pollute and pollute more, impacting you, impacting all of us. This was also a big day for China. China is celebrating.
Oh my
This
God.
was a day that marks a moment of acceleration in their capacity to dominate in the next big global industry. California was one of the leading players in this space. The world we invented now is competing against us. California established an innovation framework that has allowed us to now have over 60 manufacturers that have headquartered in
You
the
have
state
to
of California.
literally know
California
nothing about
created the
China or
rules
the
that
world
would
to
China
be
help
listening to
create
him right now.
and support the development of
Benefit
an iconic
for
American company
America
by the name of
having
Tesla.
more
Tesla
options
simply would not have existed
energy. Like, I
as a
don't-
company
it just doesn't
had not
make
these
any
rules been applied, advancing those rules in the regulatory markets that created a level of certainty that created the opportunity to take risks and invest in the development of one of America's most.
let me get the logic here. So he's saying that America, being this non-polluting, electric-only, car-loving fucking utopia of electricity and no pollution, no gas cars, right? Is somehow less beneficial to China than allowing gas cars and allowing different sources of energy is somehow more beneficial to China? Like, what? What? It's because I get how they're trying to spin it. They're saying like, oh, now we're going to use older technology, and China is going to be using more technology than us because they're doing all this shit of advanced. China pollutes more than anybody. They fucking, if they can get the energy from somewhere, it doesn't matter the fucking cost, they're getting it. Like, us limiting ourselves because we care about an imaginary fucking issue, basically, statistically speaking, is not the way to go. It actually sets us back. It makes China even stronger. That's why everything's made in China. Whatever. Okay, Gaston, you cook whatever fucking retard steak you're cooking.
All right, hold on.
Iconic companies. So this is about our economy. It's about our health. It's about our global competitiveness. It is Donald Trump about our national security. And it's about our ability to continue to innovate and outpace competition all across the globe. Now, the good news is, I noted, we anticipated this moment. And we are firm and committed in our efforts to continue our leadership in the state of California.
Is that the video?
Actually, this morning, my staff gave me a speech by the name of Ron Ray, and it was July 14th. 1984 speech. It was a radio speech President Reagan gave,
He
celebrating his
I'll give him
environmental
this.
leadership,
He masters
as he
the
referred to
language
over
of
15
bullshit.
years prior as governor of the state of California,
Yep.
where we established these rules.
Talk about your.
It's
your
right that we're
rules,
here. The
really
California
good
EPA.
credentials.
The California EPA was established by a Republican governor, another Republican governor by the name of Pete Wilson. Those rules that were advanced, that Ronald Reagan reflected 15 years later, were not only advanced by him in the creation of the California Air Resources Board in 1967, but were afforded to him under the authority granted to him by a Republican president by the name of Richard Nixon under the Clean Air Act in 1970, bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats, recognizing the urgency to address the issue of pollutants.
Oh, it was so
to address the
urgent
issue of
back
public
then,
health.
actually, that
That's
we were
what's being
already
assaulted, that's
dead
what's
by
being
now.
attacked. I was in the Oval Office a few weeks back, and in anticipation.
All right, I'm not going through anymore.
It was so urgent. We were dead. We're dead. We're already dead, actually, guys. This is not even real.
If you think I was overstating of this moment, I looked up just right above.
According to
President
climate change
By the way,
people
this-
over the
this
year,
was a
or
plan. This
what
was
do
a
you
plan
call
to
them?
like to stop the fucking car sales in 10 years?
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah, you weren't able to sell. Yeah, you can't. You
So
can't
we weren't
sell
even.
again. It's the dumbest shit ever. It's the dumbest shit ever, and you know what it is also? It's actually making the rich richer. That thing they always complain about. Because guess what? You know what's all the dealio with these fucking brand new electric cars? It's the same concept as BlackRock. You will own nothing and you will like it. Because all these fucking electric cars, all these little fucking sensors and all these fucking exclusive, nobody can fix them except the dealer. And when you can't afford that,
Yeah.
you're forced to go into a different car. Or your battery, you got to change the battery. You got to basically need a new car. You're never going to own that car. You're never going to. It's like the concept of having a car for 15, 20 years is gone if you have only electric cars. Like you don't have that option no more. Like you
That
no
is
longer own a
true.
car. You're just using a car. So
That is true.
if you really think about it, like all these mandates, who does it really benefit? And it's the people that they claim are so fucking evil, but also clearly work for. Like it's insane. It's insane to me. I can't understand it. I get people fall for this shit, but like, man, speechless.
Okay. We're gonna go for the interest of fairness. Yeah, that's the word. We're gonna go from one retard to another retard.
Our entity had you were gonna say something, Slender, I think, before Monkey chimed in.
All right, before we switch topics, did you have anything else did you want to say about this one? Because we're gonna fly off to another retard.
I think you were gonna
No.
bring up a stat or something.
Slender, did you die?
No, I said no.
Yeah, he's recalculating.
All right.
Madam Secretary. Secretary Noem.
Are we?
Oh
by the way,
God.
are we familiar with the term habeas corpus?
That's a good question.
what
Is
that
everybody familiar with habeas corpus here?
I am not actually.
Okay. So thankfully, you do not work for the government. So that is already a good sign. So for the kids in the class that don't know, habeas corpus is a court order directing authorities to bring a person before a judge, and that judge will decide if the person's detention is a lawful act. Like the judge basically says whether you're not you can be detained. But it's that it's the process of that. All right. So I forgive you, Charles. You didn't work for the government. Let's see how Kristi Noem did.
The White House Deputy Chief of Staff recently said that the Trump administration is actively looking at suspending habeas corpus. Last week you were asked about this, and I want to clarify your position because it's obviously really important to get this right. So Secretary Noem, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to.
Let me stop you, ma'am.
suspend their right
Habeas
to-
corpus, excuse me, that's incorrect.
President
habeas
Lincoln
corpus,
used it.
excuse me. Habeas corpus is the legal principle that requires that the government provide a public reason for detaining and imprisoning people. If not for that protection, the government could simply arrest people, including American citizens, and hold them indefinitely for no reason. Habeas corpus is the foundational right that separates free societies like America from police states like North Korea. As a senator from the live free or die state, this matters a lot to me and my constituents. and to all Americans. So, Secretary Noem, do you support the core protection that habeas corpus provides, that the government must provide a public reason in order to detain and imprison someone?
Yeah, I support habeas corpus. I also recognize that the President of the United States has the authority under the Constitution to decide if it should be suspended or not.
It has never
Let us be clear, though,
it has
that this
never been president- done. It has never been done without approval of Congress. Even Abraham Lincoln got retroactive approval from Congress. So I have been asking executive branch nominees a simple question. Over the past few months, if the president orders them to break the law, I've been asking, will you follow the law or follow the order? I want to ask you a more specific question here. If the president tries to suspend habeas corpus and a federal court reverses the president's...
So hold on. Before we go further, I just want to re-clarify something here.
Secretary Noem, do you support the core protection that habeas
under the Constitution to... Yeah, I support...
in order to detain and imprison someone?
Yeah, I support habeas corpus. I also recognize that the President of the United States has the authority under the Constitution to decide if it should be suspended or not.
It has never
Let us be clear, though,
it
that
has
this
never been done. It has never been done without approval of Congress. Even Abraham Lincoln got retroactive approval from Congress. So I have been asking executive branch nominees a simple question.
I mean, if you want.
How did all this start? How did we get here? That's what I'm actually a little.
Well, hold on.
Over the past few months, if the president orders them to break the law, I've been asking, will you follow the law or follow the order? I want to ask you a more specific question here. If the president tries to suspend habeas corpus and a federal court reverses the president's order, will you comply with the court order and uphold habeas corpus, or will you follow the president's directive?
We are following all federal court orders and are complying with that, as is the president, and every decision
Well,
that I make as
that is obviously not true for anybody who reads the news. There are federal court orders right now, including returning somebody who was deported mistakenly.
Getting her info from the news?
This is about a fundamental legal right that ensures that we live in a free society instead of a police state that would have a sham legal system like Russia or North Korea. So I'm glad that you have now committed to following court orders. I'm glad you believe in the basic freedom for Americans if ordered to do so by a court. And again, I want just to make clear that
so
it is
she
critically
changed
important
from
that even
calling
if the
them
president
federal
tries
court
suspend the
orders
right
to
of people
just
to know why
court
they've been detained
orders.
or imprisoned.
Say again? Sorry.
She changed from calling them federal court orders to just court orders?
Maybe a flab? I don't know.
If a federal court reverses that order, that you will follow that order, and I hope all the members of the administration will.
Did she ask the question yet and I missed it because of the dog? No? Okay.
Because it's obviously critical that some of the people, for instance, who've been deported by mistake, who didn't get due process, be returned in compliance with court orders. So now, let's move on to another issue. International criminal organizations target Americans with sophisticated cyber crime, including elaborate scams that robbed Americans of billions of dollars, with seniors in the United States losing $5 billion to scammers in 2024 alone. As artificial intelligence improves, so does the ability of criminals to deceive and defraud Americans. With this new technology, criminals can impersonate loved ones, develop advanced malware, or make more convincing phishing messages. How is DHS working to identify trends in illegal activity and ensure that new AI systems have safeguards in place to prevent their use in criminal activity?
Yes, we are working extensively through CISA, but in all of our agencies to make sure that we're going after these criminal nefarious actors. I would say partnering with private industry is critically important so that we have the insight that we need to really understand the tactics that they use and the advancements in software. The AI ability that they have to adjust and to supersede some of our systems is incredible. And so investing in those systems is important, but also having the knowledge and bringing everybody to the table and breaking down the silos between our agencies and our intelligence agencies is important, so we all have the information that we need to get.
Well, and that gets me to one final point and question here, because Senator Peters began to ask about it. There's been recent reporting that indicates that the Chinese government installed remote access to Chinese-made power inverters in the U.S., raising concerns that the Chinese government could try to disable parts of our power grid. And you made a comment following up on Senator Peters' question about the importance of not only working with private industry on this issue, as you would also want to work on AI, but also on working.
Okay. The big thing here is, what did I tell you habeas corpus was again?
Well, I mean, I get that the judge summons you, and then.
Okay. So when asked the question,
position, because it's obviously really important to get this right. So, Secretary Noem, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to.
That's not even fucking close, dude.
To remove people from this country
No,
and suspend their.
That's not even like in the ballpark of what habeas corpus. Like, that's not an answer you give to that question. Like in the classroom of a 7th grade civics class, you don't give that answer to a question, bro. Like, that's bad.
Okay, but again, how is this coming up? Like, this lady's accusing Trump of all of a sudden trying to get rid of this. Has Trump said he's getting rid of this? Like, is it she?
Yeah.
I see the Ukraine pin, so I already have my doubts.
Well, she already also admitted that she gets her information from the news.
And that she gets her info from the news. Yeah. So this lady is compromised.
she's coming at Christie because she believes Trump said that he was going to suspend habeas corpus.
And she got that from
immigration,
what's the accuracy on that?
Where she brought up the news was when she was telling Christie he's already doing it. We're seeing it on the news.
Yeah, which is the dumbest. That is the dumbest shit you could say.
But that's all fine. What I'm more concerned with is the definitional question was answered very badly. Like, she asked the definitional question, yo, what is habeas corpus? And Christie didn't answer that at all. Like, I don't know what the fuck she thought she heard.
She kind of filibustered it.
Dude.
She's basically saying it from the angle of, like, it's a constitutional right that the president can give or take away.
That's not but that's not the answer to habeas.
No. I get it. I 100%. I understand. She fumbled the actual definition, but I think she was being sly with it in order to not answer. I mean, she might also just not know, but it sounds like one of those answers when you're like you're not really sure, but you know what it does. So like you're giving the
you gotta know. You gotta know that one, bro. Like that one's basic law. I understand you don't like a layman. I forgive, but like she's.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from.
That's one of those things you gotta answer correctly, bro.
Well, I mean, it's a very basic principle. I get it, but then like the whole premises here seems to be that this Karen, she's looking like a real Karen right here.
Yeah, she's definitely a fucking Karen.
Definitely a Karen, and we all know what happens when you have Karens. She is already basing her questions under the insinuation that Trump is removing, or rather that Trump is turning America into a North Korea, state police type of situation. Like already, that's basically what she's saying. She's like, "Hey, Trump's already doing this," and it's like, well, if you start a question or your argument already based on like complete fucking TDS, like you usually don't really got a ground to stand on anymore after that, regardless whether she answered that question correct or not.
All right. Slender.
Yeah.
How you feeling on that?
No, I agree. It's not really a defensible thing to not know the definition of that, especially in a role that she has. However, I don't understand the whole point of even their argument or conversation. It really has no real bearing. The only times that I can think of that they could even say that the Trump admin has not like complied with federal court orders are one of the big ones is the Kilmar case, which
So it comes back down MS-13, the love for the MS-13. Oh,
but
no.
even in that case, there are publicly shown efforts that they are complying with the order given to them.
Yeah, the owners like bring him back, and we're like, "Bitch, you out of our jurisdiction. Shut the fuck up."
Right.
Like,
The same with the deportation of the other Venezuelan nationals to El Salvador.
but like, does give these people this Karen the excuse that because somehow you're not pulling the strings to bring an MS-13 member back, that you're breaking a court order. While instead they're just going by the technicality route, which is, hey, we can't tell El Salvador what to do, which they really could, but they don't gotta. So yeah, they're satisfying their requirements, whether you like that or not, and that's too bad, but it is what it is.
And then the only other thing that I could find is the federal grants, the unfreezing of them. But I mean that's more of a interpretation aspect on how you look at it, because you could say that they've followed what they're supposed to do and everything for the order, but the judge is the one that deemed their efforts inefficient. So
So that brings me back to like also the fact that these people really gotta they're really fucking snakes, because like I could make the argument that the judicial branch has been overstepping their role hell of a lot more than you could make the argument that the executive branch is overstepping into the judicial. Like I personally, in the time I've been an adult, I've never seen all these fucking court district judges and these court orders. Like literally the president does something and then the court's like, nah. Like, and it's like on a weekly basis, maybe even a daily basis. And it's like, I've never seen that in my life. And now all of a sudden I am seeing it and I'm being told, well, that's because the president is evil and he's doing all these things he shouldn't. When if you look at what he's doing, it's just president shit. Like it is literally his executive authority. But, you know, whatever.
You know, it's some more president shit.
Tell you all, this time yesterday we saw the House up all night. It was day 2 of that, the House up all night, as well as Republicans are charging ahead of their multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package, with Speaker Mike Johnson defying the skeptics within his ranks and working to muscle President Donald Trump's priority bill to passage on this Thursday. You did hear those remarks right here on Live Now from Fox, as Johnson and his GOP leadership team appear confident after a lengthy White House meeting with GOP holdouts to salvage the big beautiful bill, even as more Republicans announced their opposition. Shortly before midnight, they launched debate to set the stage for this early morning vote. You can see the time is now out on the vote, but they are still getting final tallies underway. A quick quote from House Speaker Mike Johnson. We did play that out for you. He said, quote, "You never know till the final vote tally, but I'm convinced we're going to pass this bill tonight." This as the chamber action resumed. Throughout the evening and into these early morning hours, the upbeat tone stood at odds with the unwielding scene at the Capitol.
On this
we see
vote,
Speaker
the
Johnson there now. Let's listen in.
The nays are 214, with one answering present. The bill is passed.
USA.
Now it's time to find out who the snakes in the Senate are.
Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
So any senator that votes no on this, basically, they're a deep state piece of shit. Like just fucking objectionists. Like there's no.
Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, the unfinished business is a question on suspending the rules and passing H.R. 1701, which the clerk will report by
5-0.
H.R. 1701, a bill to require the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of State to monitor efforts by the People's Republic of China to build or buy strategic foreign ports and for other purposes.
5-0. Will the House suspend the rules and pass the bill? So many as are in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Imagine getting clapped 5-0 at home.
Oh, we did it again.
That's a Cat 5 hurricane for you bitches.
Oh, Florida hurricanes. We got it under control.
No, you couldn't pay me to join because I know exactly how it would go. LOL. Yeah, it'd make you sound like a retard because that's what you are, Alex. That's what you are. TDS retard.
All right.
Every single time we get paid. If you look at left-leaning journalism, they're going to paint this thing one way. If you look at right-leaning journalism, they're going to paint it a whole different way. You always got to be careful and consider the source when you're watching and listening to this information. Guys, most people have no idea what's inside of Trump's one big beautiful bill. This one big beautiful bill matters, and it matters for all of us because it directly impacts our wallet, our healthcare system, our taxes, what we're going to pay in taxes, our future opportunities, right? Whether we realize this or not. So here's why it's important. We're talking Medicare, we're talking Medicaid, we're talking national defense, we're talking about all the things that really matter to us as Americans. And what you keep from your paycheck and lots of other things, right? So most people have no clue what's in this big, beautiful bill. And most people, frankly, just aren't ready for it. So on this quick video, I want to give you a truly unbiased breakdown of Trump's one big, beautiful bill. Now, the bill is over 1,100 pages long, so it's pretty extensive. So I'm not going to go over every single thing in it, but I want to give you sort of an overview and a breakdown of the major pros and cons that are the pros that are good for the American people and the American consumers, and the cons, the things that are going to be problematic about the bill for us as American consumers and American citizens, right? So whether you're for it or you're against it, or or whether you sit on this side of the aisle or that side of the aisle, all of that really doesn't matter to me. I just want to lay out some facts for us as I know them. And look, this video is going to be down the middle. And I urge you to watch this entire video with an open mind so you can get a feel for where you stand on it, right? This way you can clearly make a decision about what you think, right? And I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm really here to tell you just to think. So as of yesterday, President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill was currently moving through Congress. And what it is, guys, it's an overall comprehensive legislative package. And the whole goal of the bill is to really sort of reshape the United States' fiscal policies, the U.S.'s healthcare policies, and immigration policies, and more, right? Now, a lot of people are going to beg to differ on this, and that's cool too, right? But as we stand right now, the bill has advanced out of the House Budget Committee, and it's waiting on a full House vote. So they're going to be voting on this shortly. Now, let me say this. The House is mostly made up of Republicans at this point. The Republicans kind of have the majority. The Senate is mostly made up of Republicans as well. The Republicans have the majority in the Senate as well. So this is probably one of the key times when something like this is going to be most favorable to happen. However, the bill is facing internal Republican disagreements, right, over things like Medicaid reforms and state and local taxes and all that good stuff. So there is some pushback, and it's not that clear cut that this thing will pass, even though the Republicans make up the majority of Congress members in the Senate and the House as we speak. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, his goal, and he's mentioned the goal quite often, he wants to pass this bill by Memorial Day, which
By the way, obviously we know the bill passed today, so.
less than a week away, right? So it's not really looking good for that right now. So let's jump into it, guys. Again, I want to go through the pros, the good stuff, and I want to go through the bad stuff, but I want to do it on a high level so you can get a feel for exactly what's in this bill, okay? The first pro, and we'll talk about pros first, but stay tuned. We'll get to the cons and issues and problems as well. So the very first pro, or the thing that's good about this bill, is it offers tax relief for workers and for older people, okay? So this bill extends these 2017 tax cuts, reducing individual income tax rates. And so Republicans that are for the bill are sort of touting this as a big issue, right? These are some of the largest tax cuts in the nation's history, right? And let me give you a quick refresher on what the 2017 tax cuts were. The 2017 tax cuts under Trump as president, it was called TCJA, or Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. It was a major overhaul, right, of the U.S. tax code. It was signed into law, I think, at the very end of 2017. It basically lowered individual income tax rates across really most brackets. Now, and it doubled the standard deduction and reduced some personal exemptions. Now, it also lowered the corporate tax rate, I think, from 35% down to about 20 or 21%, right? The 2017 tax cuts also increased the child tax credits, and it limited deductions for state and local taxes as well. Now, it also made some of the most individual tax cuts temporary, and they expire in 2025 this year. And that's one of the reasons they're revisiting this thing and trying to extend them, right? Its goal basically was to stimulate some economic growth back in 2017. But its critics also came out and really harp on the fact that it significantly increased the national debt, and it disproportionately benefited corporations and wealthy people. So that's what the critics said about the 2017 tax cuts. But for the most part, now Trump's big, beautiful bill is trying to extend those tax cuts even further and introduce some of these tax exemptions for things like tips if you work in the service industry. So if you work in the service industry and you get tips, there will be some tax exemptions for you. There'll also be some tax exemptions in this one big, beautiful bill for overtime pay. And one they tout quite a bit is Social Security income for all seniors earning under $75,000 a year. There'll be some tax exemptions for you as well. And this one big, beautiful bill will also, remember, we're talking about the pros here. The one big, beautiful bill will also, or supposed to, raise the standard deduction and increase the child tax credits, right, up to $2,500 through the year 2028. Now, that's some good stuff, right? Tax cuts extended, lower federal income taxes, no taxes on tips and overtime, tax-free Social Security income for many or most seniors, all that make under $75,000 a year, child tax credit boost, right? Now, why does these particular pros matter? Because this is more take-home pay in the short term for most of us, right? Now, most of these benefits are fairly temporary, though, and they could expire by the year 2028. So we'll see what happens. Now, another pro or good thing about this one big, beautiful bill and how it will affect us is that it establishes what they're calling a MAGA account for newborn babies. Babies born between 2024 and 2028 will receive $1,000 towards a savings account, and they're calling that a MAGA account, right? So that's a government-funded savings account. Now, why does that matter? Well, it's kind of giving a leg up or helping out young babies born, right? And another pro is to increase the small business tax reduction from 20% to 23%, which is going to supposedly benefit more than, 25 or 26 million entrepreneurs in America. So again, some good stuff there. Another pro is that it will enhance border security and national defense. So this one big, beautiful bill, it allocates about $70 billion for border security measures, including continuing to build that wall between Mexico and America and increasing the personnel that are working down there at the border as well. The bill also provides $150 billion in additional spending on defense, right? Focusing on, unmanned systems and drones and modernizing the military capabilities and all that good stuff. Probably a good thing as well. That's why I put it on the pro side, right? So more money for military modernization, more money for border control and defense. This is going to reduce illegal immigration and possibly, hopefully, what they're hoping, improve national security. But remember, this could also divert funds from some infrastructure and divert some funds from social programs in America as well. But I don't want to go there just yet, right? If you're waiting on the bad things, the cons, they're coming up. Just be patient, right? We're going to get to those in just a moment. Another important pro or good thing about this one big, beautiful bill is that it's going to invest about $12.5 billion towards modernizing the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, right? Air traffic control systems and all that stuff. And we all know the tragedy that took place just a couple months ago regarding that, right? And based on the few people that I know that work at the FAA and work long overtime hours at the FAA, that's a good thing for workers there as well. So that's kind of an overview of some of the good things that's coming out of this bill, the pros of Trump's big, beautiful bill. Now let's talk about some of the problems, the cons for the American people and for the American economy. First big con is this. This bill is going to usher in some really significant Medicaid reductions. And so, you know, Medicare is federal, Medicaid is state, but Medicaid at the state level also receives some federal funding. So, you know, right? So Medicaid, this is going to impose, this one big, beautiful bill is going to impose work requirements for Medicaid recipients, right? Medicaid recipients between, I think, the ages of 19 and 64, starting in 2029 is when those work requirements are going to really kick in. Now, there's some Republicans that are pushing back on the bill saying that, hey, wait a minute, we think this should really start earlier than 2029. But I think 2029 was put in there to give people sort of a cushion to get there, right? Give people sort of a preparation prior to cutting this very, very important government-funded help, right? So the big, beautiful bill also, another con, is that it introduces copays and reduces some of the reimbursements that some people are saying potentially could lead to probably 7 or 8 million Americans losing Medicaid coverage. Now listen, I don't know about you.
I grew up on Medicaid, so I can, you know, I want to be fair, because it is basically having literally government health care, and government health care, working in government's kind of OP. So and the prereq is basically being like pretty fucking poor. So it makes sense that, you know, if you're that fucking poor, you need like the best health insurance to cover everything, because you can't afford it, you're not gonna pay it. But the downside of all this too, and I think why the get a job part is actually a good thing, is that you then require a system of dependency where you have this OP healthcare that is only possible by doing nothing. And yeah, you should, you know, if it incentivizes you to pay a little bit of something so that you could have to get a fucking job, like it's you know, like copay is not the end of the world. Like we all pay fucking copays, like, right? Like it's not, you know, $50 to see a specialist, you know, 25, 10, whatever bucks to see your general, like, we're not killing nobody here, right? And again, we're cutting the taxes, so if you have a job, you get lower taxes, so, you know, you can make all these little copays and stuff. And yeah, it's like, to me, it sounds reasonable. Maybe to other people, you know, go crazy, but like, you got to really think about in the sense, like, yeah, my family was pretty fucking poor, so like, yeah, we were a part of those systems, but like, the point is to get off of those systems. And luckily, in my case, you know, I had good support, good family. We went up the tax bracket, you know, and you know, everyone's happy and healthy now with like work insurance. We don't even need the Medicaid anymore. But yeah, if you're still receiving Medicaid, I'm sure it's just like, have at least a minimum wage job or something, right? Because those jobs, those style of jobs usually don't even provide health care. So like, you're not making too much money, but you're a productive member of society.
I think my only, I guess, I think I have some pushback on that. Like, for the most part, I agree with the premise of what you're saying, because there's a lot of people on Medicaid that, you know,
right,
probably don't need to.
But remember, I'm not counting also the people that get money from disability. So if you have disability, that's totally different.
That's because I know that's a thing. Like, when you get disability, you get Medicaid or Medicare.
Exactly, you get both. So like, let's you know, okay. I mean, I just want to make that, you know, distinction.
But the other one is speaking in. I'm gonna speak on just Florida, so forgive me other states, but I'm a Floridian. This is a very expensive place to live now. Like, even with a job, you might end up needing fucking Medicaid. Like, we teeter on, a lot of us in the lower income areas teeter on like a tax bracket that either grants us or doesn't grant us.
Right, I lived through the whole Section 8 craziness. You make like one more fucking dollar, and all of a sudden, hey, we're gonna go from giving you 75% rent coverage to like 2. You're like, what?
And then on top of not giving you that help, they expect you to pay for that help, and oftentimes, even the minimum is way more than you were like able to afford. And this leads a lot of people to just go out with no health insurance, and then they get penalized on their tax returns for it later. So they're getting even less fucking money from.
I think Trump took that out though, right? That was like the Obamacare requirement that you needed to have.
It was, yeah.
I got taken out, right?
I think so. In
I want to say yes.
In the last tax return. Yeah. I want to say he did. But before then, it was like that.
Yeah, I was always against that. I thought that was ridiculous. Like, if I choose to fucking free ball my life with no healthcare, that's on me, brother. Like, I don't fucking need a penalty for that.
It's like if you're a Floridian, even now, like even with that break, it's still like fucking health insurance ain't cheap. So
no, it's not.
If you're a Floridian, you're sitting out here fucking wrestling gators with no health insurance. It's.
Yeah, but you see, these Floridians, these Floridians play 5D Parcheesi because, like, I know so many no health insurance, but they just fucking, you go to the fucking nonprofit hospital, you get charged this fucking sum of money, and then you wipe your ass with it, and what are they gonna do? Deny you service? No, bitch, you just don't pay it. It doesn't go on your credit score, so it's not real.
That's how my dad raised it.
Bro, but you see, like, it's all just real fake numbers also. Like, if we really want to go down deep into it, I mean, obviously not, like, I'm not talking about Medicaid, but, like, at the end of the day, the whole insurance system is
not having insurance does run you into a lot of problems.
Like I think if most people would realize
you can't get fucking medications, you can't get fucking decent doctors, you can't get fucking really any doctors. You are very much at the mercy of clinics and emergency rooms.
Yep.
Then half of these hospitals, like I went through it with my mom when she had cancer real bad, and she just moved back from Puerto Rico. We had to set her up and everything, and she had a couple of times where she needed an emergency room, and dude, Memorial fucking kicked her out when they found out she didn't have no insurance. And all they did was stabilize her, and like they had everything ready to go to see her the next day. Found out that she didn't have insurance and said, "Nah, you gotta go." Like, it's getting like that down here when it comes to that. So Medicaid, I'm so fucking torn on it because I
remember again,
hard with the aspect. I'm not even talking about cancer. These are things that even in the low income area on that median tax bracket, teetering over and under. These are things that they get faced with. You can't break a fucking arm there. I think I'm torn because I also know so many people that take advantage of the system.
Yep.
Like, and they are perfectly fine, like, financially. Like, they can afford, like, they're out there driving fucking nice.
Well, I mean, I think it also goes to, like, the concept of, like, does the government need to provide you a health insurance program? Like, is health care a human right? And if you really want to dive into it, like, you always talk about, like, human rights is, like, it can't cost you, like, the labor of somebody else. Like, it's your right. It's not somebody else's labor. So, like, you could make the argument that health care is not a human right. Therefore, the government has no obligation to assist you with it. But, as a society, we do it.
But I feel like, in governments like in societies like ours, it's kind of a necessity. So I feel like I kind of agree and I kind of don't. I agree that it's not like a fundamental human right because if we didn't have governments and systems, who the fuck is giving you that right? But at the same time, I feel like democracies and systems like ours, those rights are necessary for us to believe in the governments.
That's a good point.
So, but again, and you're never gonna get it perfect, and you're never gonna get it right. But something does need to be done about it because it's been an uptick of the activity. But people take advantage of the fucking system.
They do.
There's people sitting in fucking sunny Isles on Medicaid. That's not that's insane. People living on
that's the other crazy part about these people listening that we're in Florida, bro. We see all these fucking health scams, car scam, doctor scam, We all sorts of. Oh my god, this is scams. Remember, we're a fucking crypto city, so like, you know, you listening, like, just it's Florida, like.
It's Florida.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
So we're a bit of experts on how things can go wrong in many ways.
But it's a tough. That one's a tough question for me. I've always felt that one to be tough because I feel like I'm the most center on that one because I understand both sides. I've seen it in play. You've seen it in play because you just said that like you literally just described basically my life too. But like
yeah. I went right through it.
I've seen it in play. I've seen it when it's necessary, and I've seen it when like a motherfucker driving a Bentley has Medicaid, and I'm like, bro, what? Well, all right, let's finish what this guy.
But I know people who receive Medicaid, and most of the people that I know that receive Medicaid, they need it. Okay, so you're talking about perhaps 7 or 8 million Americans
Buddy, you don't live in Florida.
Losing their Medicaid coverage. Now, another con or problem or issue with this one big beautiful bill is it's going to increase the national debt. Now, the bill's tax cuts and spending provisions, some places, depending on where you read, it says it will add $2 to $3 trillion to the national debt over the next decade.
That's
now,
nothing.
Listen, here's the thing about the national debt. When the national debt going up is good for a certain political party, a political party will jump on it like, okay, let's raise the debt. But however, when it's bad for a particular party to actually push it, then all of a sudden they don't want to push it, right? So we can look at that on both sides of the aisles. There's times when you see mostly Republicans saying, no, don't raise the national debt. And you see Democrats that say, oh, yes, we got to raise the national debt. And then there's other times like now when you see that increasing the national debt is all of a sudden good for Republicans. And so all of a sudden you see Republicans saying, oh, no, it's okay to raise the national debt. And now you see Democrats saying, no, we don't want to raise the national debt. It's really, really weird, guys.
That's not really weird at all. It's just that you're not looking in the right places.
Well, no,
you gotta understand the political party that's asking for the national debt to be raised. It's not an actual typical GOP Republican fucking party. It's the MAGA Republican Party. Donald Trump has always been about raising the national debt. That's why he flirted to being.
The problem is also okay. So you're saying that the 2 to 3 trillion figure over the next 10 years? Because that's actually not a lot of. That's a couple. So it's if you think about it, it depends how they're doing their accounting, right? But you could account for your current spend. You know, you're comparing versus your current spending. So it's basically saying that this big beautiful bill budget is going to raise what they're spending per year, X amount, which will increase the debt by Y. But at the same time, they're also taking actions through Doge to cut yearly bullshit. So therefore, that has an effect. You know, their goal is to cut the deficit spending by $1 trillion a year. If they could get to 2, if you could cut the debt $2 trillion a year in spending, then you're balancing out the increase of this budget from the big beautiful bill. Like, so yes, you could say that it will raise the debt, but until really, as Doge runs simultaneously to cut spending,
we don't
know what the final number is.
Yeah.
Neither political party has a real strong stance that they don't waver from regarding the national debt. It's kind of like they both flip-flop on the issue. So I put this under the cons because this is what we're seeing a lot of Democrats saying right now, that this is going to really, really increase the national debt to the tune of $2 or $3 trillion over the next decade, and we don't like it because of that. Now, look, I do want to say this about the national debt. Just a week or two ago, you had Moody's that came out and lowered its credit rating for America, right? Just like you have a FICO score, right? Experian, TransUnion, and the other one that rates your credit rating and gives you an overall FICO score. Well, look, each country in the world also has 3 credit rating bureaus that actually rate their credit rating as a country. One of them is Moody's, and Moody's just downgraded America's debt rating. Now, the other 2 credit rating systems downgraded America's rating over the last several years as well. So part of the reason they always cite for this is the national debt. And so the national debt is a really important thing. So if the bill passes, ultimately, we're talking an increased national debt more than likely. Now, another big con or problem with Trump's one big beautiful bill is that it's going to not only just cut Medicaid, but it's going to cut other social programs, reducing the funding for programs like food stamps or SNAP, right? And clean energy subsidies are going to go away as well, at least be reduced quite a bit. It also eliminates federal direct subsidized loans for undergraduate students, and it sort of restricts the National Secretary of Education's regulatory authority as well. And so we got work requirements for Medicaid. We got fewer people having access to free or affordable care. So if you rely on Medicaid or might need it in the future, this could be a major threat to your health care safety down the road, 5-10 years down the road, right? And obviously, why does this matter? Because you're talking about people losing health coverage and health benefits, increasing people's out-of-pocket medical expenses, right? That's a problem. That's less money that you can take home and go buy groceries with, right? Another con of this one big beautiful bill is the temporary nature of some of these benefits. Right? Several of the tax benefits that I mentioned earlier, including exemptions on tips and overtime, those things will be set to expire by 2028, right? Which means that perhaps if this bill goes through, tax relief for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden those taxes come back, right? Now, I'm not sure if any politician in the year 2028 is going to be the one who's responsible for increasing taxes and bringing those taxes back, but it's a possibility, right? So that's sort of the over big view of the pros and the cons for us as American people, which I think is really important. Because look, you can talk all day till you're blue in the face. The one thing that matters to most American people is how is this thing going to hit me in the pocketbook? Do I care more about increasing the budget and losing some of the cuts to these social programs like Medicaid, or do I really want these tax cuts right now, right? So for a lot of Americans, which one of those things do you really want, right? Let me know in the comments below, what's your thought process? Are you looking at this big, beautiful bill as more of a positive or as more of a problem for the American people? Right, just drop that in the comment section below for me. This bill got out of the House Budget Committee, and it passed the House Budget Committee with a 17-16 vote after they had to have some negotiations with some of the conservative folks that was holding out.
Dated information, it passed. Well, it passed in the House, and it passed in the Senate, but we kind of already know where that's going to go, dude. So, some other things I want to mention on that, because there's some pros that he didn't mention, or at least there's one pro that I could think of that he didn't mention. Give me one sec here. I had to set something aside. Anyway, there's one pro that he didn't mention that I like as a Cadillac driver. I will be again. Don't worry. I'm getting that fucking car back, right? But as a Cadillac driver, he took the taxes off of American-made cars when you make a purchase on an American-made car. So that's cool. And I think there's also, I think he generally mentioned it when he said like tax cuts, but like we also get like no taxes on tips and overtime too. So that people that were interested in that's in there. Like you did.
I just think the whole thing about the national debt isn't going to be as serious as again. If you're talking 2 to 3 trillion over 10 years, is what 200 billion. 200 billion a year. That's like nothing for the government. What the fuck are you talking about? And I think if you look at Doge, they've already cut like half a trillion. I think they're already at. Like, they're gonna keep that number's gonna keep going up. Like, you're gonna cover the expenses of this bill. Like, do not worry. And then and the thing about the fucking credit score that every country has a fucking credit score. We're fucking America. Who the fuck is gonna tell us, well, your credit score is bad, so we don't approve of you? Whatever. Like, suck my nuts, other countries.
Suck my nuts, other countries.
Like, who the fuck? Like, we're not gonna qualify for something because our credit score is low. America's credit score got dropped. I don't give a fuck. We got what? Honestly, even for regular Americans, your credit score really is if you're borrowing, if you're buying a house, buying a fucking car, which you probably shouldn't. You should probably buy your car cash. Buy your car as cash, people. Just buy what you can afford to buy. Yeah, credit score is really also like a fucking real fake number. So, like, if America's fucking credit score is like the realest fake number. Also hasn't been around for very long, you're right. Oh my god, this shit. This shit, boys.
Yes.
Oh my god, the ambush.
Oh yeah, right. The ambush.
The ambush.
What would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the president. It's for him. No, seriously, rather have him answer. I don't answer that. It will be,
our president will respond to you. Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us at the quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories. And is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things. And I have to, it has to be responded to. Sure. Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And excuse me, turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. Just put this on right behind you.
PowerPoint. Holy shit, PowerPoint presentation.
People are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one.
Oh shit! He brought up the PowerPoint.
Oh no.
Oh my god, yes. I haven't seen this yet. This is amazing.
We don't care. We can do whatever we want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land.
Well, you
occupy land. That's who we are.
Look at the camera. Maybe he did get ambushed.
At some point, there must be killing because they're killing.
If this isn't an ambush,
look at his face, bro. He got the biggest poker face of all time. Oh, you're probably wondering how I got myself in this situation. Like, look at Trump looking at the fucking. Oh my god! Oh, content president.
Fucking son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch said, "Here's the PowerPoint presentation. You're a fucking killer."
Fucking screen capping.
Look at his face, bro. I can't get over it. It's fucking great. Oh shit.
You know, he's sitting there like right now, like, I should not have asked that question. I shouldn't have said that at all.
No, bro. He's like, I shouldn't have accepted this meeting.
Why am I here right now? God damn it.
Oh, man.
Yep.
It's part of a revolutionary act. Shoot, kill, come on, sir.
Oh, you know what? Oh, Trump's watching this shit. He's so
the man of D-A-P-E is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man.
Oh my god.
He's playing the whole thing savage. Fucking savage.
A white man. Not because Pajama and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched. Come on.
Oh my god. It's so uncomfortable. I love it.
The blue, the bomber, the blue, the bomber.
He don't even want to look at the video. Trump don't even know what's being said, bro.
Look, he's contemplating, bro. He got this man contemplating.
You understand somebody watching that, especially as gets scared of it.
He's like, is it over yet, bro?
Oh, they're gonna sing now.
How long does this go for?
They gathered a lot. I watched this already.
Bro, this dude looks cooked.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object,
Bro, this is 1.5 G. Oh my god.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000.
He said this is a great part. These are burial sites
of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who's killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have...
Trump. Trump.
You cooked them. I've never seen a diplomat president dude get or whatever
Trump,
get so fucking cooked.
Trump, I love you, buddy, but I've never seen anything like it. Sir, have you seen Gaza? Like, recently?
Yeah, but who cares?
The crosses.
Wait, let me tell you the difference also in Gaza. Remember, Gaza's also littered with fucking terrorists. You know, Gaza did not need to happen. If the terrorists weren't terrorizing, like, this wouldn't have happened. So,
But
like, you know,
it's not like you haven't seen it before.
it is also unfortunate. Like, I understand I fundamentally understand the plea, but you fucked around, and now you're finding out.
Yep.
Like, yeah, innocent people are gonna get hurt in that. But guess what? The terrorist took that into account and said, "We don't give a fuck." And now you're screaming to free Palestine. Yes, including the terrorists. And then, you know, shit happens.
Shit does.
They told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen.
It's my backyard.
Okay. I mean, it's in South Africa. That's what
I need to find out.
Never seen that before, you sure?
Okay.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced they would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? You know,
somebody had to ask about the jet.
Oh my
you gotta
Lord.
get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you know, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you
Look outta here.
to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing.
We're
They
talking
also
about
gave
white farmer
$1.1
genocide.
trillion
God damn it.
worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back. You ought to go back to your studio at NBC because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead.
No more questions from you.
His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet. Let's go.
Thank you so much, President Trump, and South Africa in South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation
I
that we've
don't
just
know.
seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know. I think anyone. White South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all. I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it is?
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried. And he asks about a jet that was given. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know, you are so bad. You're such a bad reporter.
Oh my God, he goes for the double.
This is one after another. This family was wiped out. I'm just looking.
Can someone going through all that?
Well, I think the videos are so. No. When you look at the videos, I mean, how does it get worse? And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land. That's what. And I have other friends in South Africa. I have people that left. One in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land, and they kill you. It's okay, and they say it's okay to do. Now, we're going to talk about it, but this is a tremendous, look, this is a story recent. These are all people that recently got killed.
God damn, he brought so many
I don't know how it can get any worse. And you know, the man that you saw,
Yep.
the men that you saw, the people that you saw, well, those are officials. Those are people that were in office. They had one march, they had a dance in your parliament, whatever you may call it, legislature.
Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
Let me clarify
Let me tell you something.
Being made. One, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely
So you're saying these people are
against
terrorists?
what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to
Right,
exist
what
in
he's
terms of our
saying is not
constitution.
really
allow them
helping.
to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
And then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer.
Yeah,
And when they
if
kill the
you
white
have a
farmer,
small
nothing
political
happens to them.
party and their
There is
fucking
nothing
platform
happens. There
is
is criminality in our
genocide,
country.
you might have South African terrorists.
Killed unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people.
But remember,
Majority of them are
only
black
the government can
And we have
designate
now,
who
The farmers are
brutalized-
black. The farmers are not black.
We have
I don't
now-
say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed. Their heads chopped off. They died violently. And, you know, I mean, we're here to talk about it, and we get involved here. But I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake like NBC, which is fake news, totally one of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible. But if there weren't fake news like this jerk that we have here, real reporters, they'd be covering it. But the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that. They don't want to talk about it, but now they have to talk about it. But they won't. This won't even be a subject. They'll have him talking about why did a country give a free, think of this, why did a country give an airplane to the United States Air Force? Okay, the United States, not to me, to the United States Air Force, so they can help us out because we need an Air Force One until that's Air Force One is being built. 2 of them being built. But Boeing's a little bit late, unfortunately. So why did they give us a plane to the United States Air Force? That's what that idiot talks about after viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. Okay.
I wish
If
you
have to be over the United States Air Force a plane,
Okay. But coming back to this issue, which I really would like us to talk about, and talk about it very calmly. We were taught by Nelson Mandela that whenever there are problems, people need to sit down and talk about it.
Well,
And this is precisely
I'm having the
what
time
we
of my
need
life.
also
This is
to
one of
talk
the best.
about, including, of course,
This is one of the
trade
best so
matters,
far.
investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States,
those are all deaths.
yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about. Let me just add quickly, you know, the criminality that we are experiencing in our country needs quite a lot of technological capability. And in one of our areas in South Africa, we're using US technology, which is able to, in many ways, identify where shootings are happening and all that. And I'd like to talk about that because there is support that we can get from you as the United States to help us deal with all these acts of criminality. And that is what I believe partnership is all about. And we are here as a partner.
It's
so
a
that we
good
can
reply.
help
I'm
each
gonna give him this
other,
as a
whenever
good
there are
reply.
challenges.
But
So I'd like us to discuss it, and of course, outside of the media, so that we sit down and have a really good discussion that will lead to good
I think what's going on. I think what's going on in South Africa is sounding a lot like really any other fucking country that, like Pakistan, that has like their terror groups that isn't the government, but it's allowed to exist because
No, the people that you saw speaking at rallies and stuff are government officials.
That's even okay, because he was making it sound like, okay, it's not us, but it's like a small other political party.
So what
that's
he was
allowed to
saying,
exist.
no, they are government officials. He was saying that no matter what, that people are allowed to express their opinions and blah blah blah. But it's like, I mean, killing people is more than just expressing your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. That's not
a
like
hell
the
of an
government's just like, oh well, you know, those guys over there, they really like killing white people, but you know, that's just their thing, you know, like what? So they are government officials. That makes shit even crazier.
We just got some people that like to kill white people, and some of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's all, you know, there's just some people in our government that like killing white people, but it's not all of us. God, like we're your partner. Like, it's okay.
Should you not be satisfied that South Africa is fixing some of the very bad things in the economies that you treated are happening?
Well, there are a lot of bad things happening in many countries, but this in particular has been very, very bad, and because of we're going to have the whole world watching in another short period of time because you have the G20, and that's a big deal. And it seems like, I mean, I want you to look good. I don't want you to look bad. But we have hundreds of people, thousands of people trying to come into our country because they feel they're going to be killed and their land is going to be confiscated. And you do have laws that were passed that gives you the right to confiscate land for no payment. You can take away land for no payment.
I want to clarify that because we have a constitution. Our constitution guarantees and protects the sanctity of tenure of land ownership. And that constitution protects all South Africans with regard to land ownership. However, we do say, because we've got to deal with the past, the government, and as your government also has the right to expropriate land for public use.
And you're doing that.
And we've never really gotten underway with that. And we are going to be doing that.
You're taking people's land away from them. And those people, in many cases, are being executed. They're being executed. And they happen to be white, and most of them happen to be farmers. And that's a tough situation. I don't know how you explain that. How do you explain that? They're taking people's land away, and in many cases, those people are being executed. And in many cases, it's not the government that's doing it. It's people that kill them and then take their land, and nothing happens to them. But we have thousands of people that want to come into our country. They're also going to Australia in a smaller number. But we have thousands of people that want to come into our country, and they're white farmers, and they feel that they're going to die in South Africa, and it's a bad thing. Yeah, please.
What can South Africa do? What concessions would you like to see them make to improve relations with the United States? Then I have one more for President Ramaphosa.
Oh, wow.
Well, we just spoke about it. I got them a very, very complex machine, 150 of them. I was asked by the president if it could help, and I did that. And, I have great feeling for all countries. I deal with all countries. But I have a great feeling for South Africa because I have friends. I have a couple of friends, a few friends here today. I have many friends from South Africa, but many of those friends are not, they can't go back. I have Elon is from South Africa. I don't want to get Elon involved. That's all I have to do, get him into another thing. But Elon happens to be from South Africa. This is what Elon
All right,
wanted.
fellas, I have to get going to work.
Sending rockets to Mars, okay? He likes that better. He likes that subject better. But Elon is from South Africa.
You all take care.
I don't want to talk to him about that. I don't want to, I don't think it's fair to him. But I will say that people are fleeing South Africa for their own safety. Their land is being confiscated, and in many cases they're being killed. And that scene of, you see how many crosses they have. Those crosses, that's a dead person in every one of them. And those
Okay, chaps and chapettes, as I said, I have to get going, but you can watch the rest of this on unsolicitedpods.com or Unsolicited Politics, but I will be going. I hope you all take care.